Several suburbs are holding mayoral primary election today, including Dalton. Embattled Mayor Tiffany Henyard facing a challenge. Are voters ready for a change?
Dane Placco is live with a closer look at the race. Dane?
We're at the Diekman Elementary School here in Dalton, which today is doubling as a polling place. And as a matter of fact, Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard herself voted here just about a half hour ago. Now, we've been talking to some Dalton residents coming and going today to vote, most of whom, in fact, all of whom told us they're ready for a change.
I think it's over. You got to do something good with the power you get if you just throw it away.
Previous mayor, she ran into some challenges. She started out really strong and, had a lot of support. But now the way the village is going, it's just time for a new direction.
Higher than a normal, usually, but yeah.
These municipal elections are generally lightly attended, but we're told turnout has been very heavy here in Dalton, which has become the center of national attention because of its controversial and flamboyant Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Well, I see no competition. So when I come in with a landslide this evening, I'm going to be so great. Y'all can all come to the after party and we can talk about it.
A few moments later.
In the air tonight, it appears Tiffany Henyard is out. Thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Schneider.
I'm Dawn Hasbrook. Our Dane Placco has been the leader in breaking news on all of the Dalton drama. Dane, this sounds like a shocker.
Yeah, Tiffany Henyard didn't just lose tonight. You might call this a political annihilation. Her opponent, trustee Jason House, getting a 7-1 margin over her tonight. House with 87.9% of the 4,400 votes cast here today. Henyard getting just 12% of the vote. Those numbers came in fast this evening, sparking a huge celebration here at House's campaign headquarters.
The new day for the community is on.
We have suffered for 4 years, and now victory.
Yes.
We are claiming victory today is ours.
Henyard is out. We dancing all night, y'all, all night. We so happy.
Now, we've not been able to track down Tiffany Henyard yet tonight. She was not telling anybody earlier where she was holding her campaign event. She's been laying low.
We must talk about some extremely crucial news on GTO Supermayor Tiffany Henyard that came out of Wakanda, which is Dalton, Illinois. Or perhaps the mayor of the super ghetto, Tiffany Henyard. The last time we talked about her, she was in a scuffle, a confrontation that happened inside a town hall meeting.
Government devolved to a new low after a fight breaks out during a meeting. Now, it appears that fists began to fly after supporters of Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard confronted a critic of hers who had called her an expletive.
Additionally, we must talk about Tiffany Henyard's crushing loss in the Dalton mayoral primary. This comes after she lost the election to remain the supervisor of Thornton Township.
Major development in the saga of embattled Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. A judge has dismissed her lawsuit, claiming that a caucus that threw her off the ballot was illegal. NBC5's Regina Waldrop has been following this case very closely for a very long time. She joins us now with details. Regina.
Marion, it is official. Tiffany Henyard is off the ballot for Thornton Township Supervisor, a role she was appointed to in 2022. So I want to take you back to the scene December 3rd. That is when Tiffany Henyard was thrown off the ballot. It was a packed and raucous meeting with an overflow crowd waiting outside. At that time, Henyard called it unfair and illegal. She said none of her supporters were let in to cast a vote. Now, we spoke to elections expert attorney Bert Olson, who tells us the caucus was legal, and also a Thornton Township resident who says it might have been legal, but it might not have been ethical.
I think that they used some plays out of Tiffany Henyard's own playbook. They booked a venue that was too small to hold everyone who wanted to attend. They seated their own supporters early.
We're there, conducted the caucus, it was done legally. Even a properly filed objection wouldn't have stood. So she's done.
Tiffany Henyard's only option now is to be a write-in candidate in Thornton Township's April 1st election. Now, today's court ruling in no way impacts her role as Dalton.
She now became the mayor of Dalton after losing the primary. Okay. So it looks like she will be done soon. The general election still needs to be held later this year, and she will not be running on the Democratic ticket. And I can tell you right now that Tiffany Henyard lost by a huge landslide. So if the results of this election are any indication of her chances of winning the office again, it's very well over.
I see no competition. So when I come in with a landslide this evening, I'm going to be so great. Y'all can all come to the after party and we can talk about it.
Interview since the polls closed at 7 o'clock. Here it is going on 8 o'clock and on this, 7:45 going on 8 o'clock in this election day Tuesday. We have the mayor-elect right here. We're going to try to talk to the mayor. Mayor-elect Jason House, congratulations on your win tonight. You're live on CBS News Chicago. Let's talk about it. 88% of the votes, the voters decided. How do you feel tonight, sir?
I feel ecstatic. The voters have spoken. They've spoken in a loud way, and I've said it before, and I'll always say it. This does not represent Dalton. We had one rogue individual. I'm sure Dalton is proud, and we are happy that we're ready to change the narrative.
I mean, you have been campaigning for some time, but it's one thing to see the amount of people who came out. Your challenger, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, did not even get 1,000 votes. What does that say overall, the message that you had going, sir?
Well, it's not to the message. It's the message that the people have said. The people have said we're fed up. They expect more, and they're going to expect more from this administration or from the future administrations. I'm proud of the residents of Dalton. I think their voice has been heard very loud and clear.
So let's read up on this. Even the media is portraying this election as a landslide because Tiffany Henyard's performance was so terrible. After confidently predicting a landslide victory on election morning, Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, is now predicted to lose by a significant margin, with 3,169 votes to Henyard's 536. Rival Jason House defeated Henyard handily in the mayoral primary. Henyard, whose tenure has been marred by allegations of financial mismanagement and controversy, was widely criticized before the election. House, a village trustee and former friend of Henyard, ran on a platform of transparency and reform with the slogan, "Clean House." Henyard had earlier in the day projected an easy victory and pulled up to a polling booth with campaign music blasting from her vehicle. But voters rejected her leadership by a wide margin. The House won with 87% of the vote. Yes, she lost. She was severely defeated. Awfully. The people have spoken again. This woman's time in office is over. She will never be able to continue. I just have to wait for the FBI, Cash Mattel and Pam Bondi to seal the deal, which means locking this woman in, because that's where she ought to go next. House promised to hold Dalton's government accountable during his campaign. House said on election day, Ms. Henyard is not only denying the people what they deserve, but it is also costing the village money. On the first day, all of the records will be turned over. Voters voiced similar frustrations, saying the election was an opportunity to boost Dalton's standing. "I just haven't been happy with the way the current mayor has been doing things," said voter Sharon Hunley. Reagan Lewis, another Dalton resident, said, "We're kind of a joke. It's not good and it's embarrassing." It is embarrassing. Really. People like myself have made fun of the happenings at Dalton. I call it Wakanda because it is a wonderful example of what occurs when you let all the K's and Q's run a city. That's exactly what happens when it runs into the ground. However, here is the issue with Ms. Tiffany Henyard. This is surprising, isn't it? I hope the town has learned from the woman's corrupt actions. Once more, I hope Jason House will be a decent leader. But I'm not sure. Without a doubt, these residents should be given the chance to make amends and guarantee that their taxes are used sensibly. However, that is contingent upon them selecting the appropriate ballot. Hopefully, they've learned their lesson and aren't selecting applicants based on their past, sex, skin color, or whether or not they reveal their sexual inclinations. It is not acceptable to vote for someone for these reasons. That's how they ended up in this situation. The community is experiencing a severe and unmanageable deficit. It is practically bankrupt now. And why? Since the residents at last gave their approval. Because they wish to give Soul Sister complete authority over everything, they backed it. And when you let the sisters take care of everything, this is what occurs. That being said, it looks as though Tiffany Henyard is heading out. She had lost the primary. She lost the caucus in Thornton Township. That is to say, she is done. The general election will make it official. Then, she will be officially out. She has suffered a significant setback, though, as it now seems that she has no prospect of being on the ballot as a Democrat. She did not receive the support she thought she did, as evidenced by the fact that no one cast a ballot for her in the Democratic primary. Like, no one at all. When she lost to a man who got 87% of the vote, she was thoroughly embarrassed. It's embarrassing. So please tell me what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share. A conservative Black viewpoint on peace.